In the beginning was the Word. And for generations, the Black church has been the vessel for not just the Word, but for identity, expression, resilience, and power. Hey y'all, welcome back to Woven in Culture. I'm Alicia, and in today's episode, we're diving into one of the most sacred and significant institutions in Black culture, the church. This isn't just about religion. It's about rebellion, artistry, style, and spirit. It's about how the Black church helped shape a people, and in turn, helped shape the culture that's echoed around the world. The Black church has always been more than a place of worship. It was a sanctuary for hope in the face of terror, a stage for fashion, a school for music, a home for expression, and a training ground for leaders. From the hush arbors of enslaved people to towering pulpits in major cities, it's been a cornerstone of resistance, resilience, and revival. Let's start with the politics. The question of if Christianity helped or harmed us under slavery is always up for debate. But whether under duress or transforming it into something of our own, we can't deny the impact that the Black church has had in Black political action. Political activists, like the Black Panther Party in the 60s, openly debated whether the Black embrace of Christianity under slavery was a positive or negative force. However, despite their resistance, the importance of the role of the Black church cannot be ignored when it comes to the progression of the African American people and politics. Without the power of the Black church, there might not have been a civil rights movement as we know it. The late Representative John Lewis once said, "The civil rights movement was based on faith. Many of us saw our involvement as an extension of our faith. The Voting Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act, so many milestones of progress were born from pulpits." Church wasn't just spiritual. It was strategic. It trained orders. It built coalitions. It created safe havens for organizing. From the 18th century onward, the Black church has been a place where faith and freedom walk hand in hand. But it's more than just politics. The Black church is where culture gets cultivated. Dr. Henry Louis Gates Jr. once said that the church is the force that made Black culture, art, and music what it is today. From the rhythm of the choir to the pageantry of Sunday service, the Black church laid the foundation for so much more of our cultural language. It was often the first stage where Black talent was nurtured, where creativity could thrive. Now let's talk about music. Gospel music is the soul of the Black experience. Born in the crucible of migration, hope, and hardship, it gave us comfort, identity, and unity. In the 1920s and 30s, Black folk headed up north in droves during the Great Migration. In Chicago, gospel flourished. Mahalia Jackson, Thomas A. Dorsey, the sound was holy, but it was also Black. You can hear the roots of jazz, the soul of blues, and the spirit of R&B, all echoing throughout the sanctuary. The introduction of the Hammond organ in the late 1930s changed everything. It became the backbone of Black worship, giving gospel music its signature sound.
Come on, say melodies from hell. Come on and sing it, say rain down on me. Yeah, come on, rain down on me. Come on, Apollo, say melodies from hell.
Mahalia's voice not only moved the churches, but the movement. She inspired Dr. King and was behind him when he gave his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech. Aretha, the Clark sisters, Yolanda Adams, these weren't just singers. They were storytellers shaped by the church. and their sound reshaped music across the globe. Even Beyonce paid homage. She sampled the Clark Sisters song, Center Thy Will, on Church Girl. It made a lot of commotion, but their legacy runs deep. Now, we can't talk about church without talking about style. Because if you've ever seen a church mother's hat, then you already know. During slavery, the only freedoms afforded to enslaved Black communities were Sunday worship and 2 sets of clothes, one set being reserved exclusively for church. While many people's mode of dress was viewed as a dedication to God, others saw it as a moment to present their best attire and show their grand style. This was how the term Sunday best came to be, and it evolved into a cultural ritual that's still followed today. Sunday best wasn't just about looking nice. It was about dignity, about showing up in a world that tried to erase us, steeped in defiance, dressed in glory. It's that same spirit that shaped Black dandyism, the flair, the flourish, the intention. We talked about it in episode 2. That same reverence for style, it didn't just come out of thin air. It came from the pulpit, from the pews. Church gave us our first runway, and dandyism, we took that sanctified swag to the streets. What we now call fashion statements, aka bold color, sharp tailoring, the confidence in the walk, it's all seated in the church tradition. That's where the dandy found his earliest blueprint. Church was the first place that we saw glamour, power, and creativity. It was a space where we, specifically Black women, could style ourselves on our own terms. Church fashion has influenced and inspired some of fashion's most prominent icons and trailblazers, like fashion editor Andre Leon Talley, fashion designer Sergio Hudson, the late fashion designer Patrick Kelly, and the image architect himself, La Roche. Andre said church was like a finishing school. La Roche said his first runway show was at church. Sergio Hudson's mama spent all week preparing for Sunday mornings. And Patrick Kelly once said, "There's more fashion in one pew of a Sunday church in Vicksburg than on a Paris runway." When we talk about the Black church, we're talking about more than just sermons or songs. We're talking about a living archive of culture, resistance, and expression. We're talking about the place where our ancestors prayed and protested, where voices were raised and identities were affirmed. It was more than just church. It was culture. It shaped who we are, how we moved, and how we praised. From soul to style, gospel to glory, the church made us. Even if we've moved beyond the pews, the spirit of the Black church lives on in the music we sing, the way we dress, and the way we gather. The influence is undeniable. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what your favorite church memories were. Was it the food? Was it the music? Was it being surrounded by a community who saw you? Drop your stories in the comments or tag us in the post. Let's keep this conversation going, because the culture does not live in history books. It lives in us. This has been another episode of Woven in Culture. Until next time.